kicking it off with our Flavorful Kitchen because Mother's Day is around the corner and many of us are going to be planning a perfect meal for Mom. But, you know, don't just feed Mom, impress Mom with your culinary skills by making her a delicious prime rib. So we're lucky here to have Capital Cellars joining us. We have Executive Chef, we have Kylan McKee, and also General Manager Logan Smizer Griffin here to tell us some of their trade secrets for the perfect prime rib. So glad to have both of you here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're excited to be
Glad
here.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Okay, we want to dive into this because we want to give you time to go ahead and get this going. But really quick, tell us about Capital Cellars, though. What are you guys known for?
Yes, well, Capital Cellars, we're featuring our signature prime rib today. And we're a restaurant located at downtown Boise at 5th and Main. And we offer lunch, happy hour, and dinner Tuesday through Saturday. We've been in business a little over 8 years.
Wow.
And we just opened our patio. So everything's going well going into Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, and perfect weather this weekend, too, for that patio. And to whet the palates of everyone today, let's go ahead and kind of show them a little bit of that prime rib. So where do we begin?
Well, I'll kind of go over how I start my prime rib.
Okay.
And here I have a uncooked one that we'll kind of go over the process with.
A nice big piece of meat, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
right.
so this one's about a 6-pounder.
Okay.
Grab some gloves down here real quick. The way I start my prime rib is, you know, I just crank my oven up to about 450 to get the sear on it. Our rub that we do here at Capital Cellars is it's a mix between onion, garlic powder, fresh cracked pepper, and sea salt, and then I do a little fresh thyme in it. Ooh. So I like to drizzle it with a little oil first, a little olive oil.
Okay. Great.
Just a little.
So then that will stick probably a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give it like,
and you have quite the healthy helping, if you will, of seasoning that you're going to be placing on this.
Oh, yeah. We're going to smother it. Very generous amount of seasoning.
All right, I like that. A very generous amount. So then you get this on there. Do you let this sit for a while or do you cook it right away?
It's nice to let it sit for a little while.
Okay.
You don't want to let it sit too much because the salt will start kind of curing the outside of it.
All right.
So like a nice half hour, let it sit in there. If you rub it down, wrap it up, let it chill for a minute.
Okay,
absorb.
rub it down, wrap it up. What do you wrap it in?
I just wrap it in plastic wrap.
Okay, in a plastic wrap. All right. So you can let it sit out on your counter for about a half hour with this generous rub. And he's even doing the other side, so he just flipped it over. So he's going to be, and gosh, how much would you say that is? It's at least a cup.
Yeah, that's about a cup.
Maybe a cup and a half, if you will. And really, really fragrant. My goodness, I can imagine how this is going to smell when it's in the oven actually cooking. And then is it good to let this get to about room temperature before you cook it? Because that is kind of like
It is. It'll help it cook evenly.
Okay. All right. So you do want it to be room temperature from top to bottom, so it does have that even cook. And you're doing all exposed surfaces. You're doing the top, the bottom, the sides, the front, the back. The whole thing is just coated in this incredibly aromatic, delicious scented coating, if you will. And you said that that's onion and garlic powder, a little bit of pepper in there as well. And then you said fresh thyme, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. I was paying attention. Okay.
And
all right. So once you got it coated, then what's next?
Then we're going to pop it into the oven at 450. I go about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then I like to go low and slow because it also helps cook it a lot more evenly. Okay. So a lot of, if you're looking up recipes, you're going to find 300 or 350. I go down to like 250. Okay. And for a 6-pounder, the one that I cooked took about 2 hours.
About 2 hours, okay.
At 250.
So you start high for about 15 minutes, and does that kind of like caramelize the top?
Yes, it gets a
and
nice
then you turn it down.
Yeah.
Okay, and then is this uncovered or covered?
Uncovered.
Uncovered the whole time?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so you go high and fast off the top, then you're gonna cook it slow and low, all uncovered for a while. How do you know it's done?
Well, I go to temperature of 120 in the center.
Okay.
That'll get you like a nice mid-rare.
Okay.
If you want it a little bit more, you can go up to 130.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but 120 is like the ideal ballpark.
Yeah, that's where I
All
like
right, and I see you have some garnishes over here. So when it's done, then what?
Well, these garnishes are actually just for the potato, because there's nothing better than an Idaho potato going with some prime rib.
Yes.
So
All right. So when you do the meat, you just cook it as is, slice it, and just serve it?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Okay, but you pair this with a potato, though.
Yes.
Nice.
And we also have a couple sauces that we do at the restaurant with it. You know, we do our Guinness horseradish, our Guinness au jus, and then we have rosemary horseradish sauce that we do with it as well.
That's why you go to Capitol Cellars, is to get the Guinness au jus and all the special stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then tell us about the wine that you brought today that you would be pairing with this.
Yeah, so we have 2C Wines, which is a winery that we started probably about 8 or 9 years ago, and we offer 4 different wines, so you can find these at the restaurant. We have a Sauvignon Blanc, a Chardonnay, and then we have a red blend that we call the Senator, and then a Cabernet, which is made here, but the fruit is sourced from Red Mountain. And certainly with this type of prime rib, we would pair it with the 2C Cabernet, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. So
Wonderful. Well, this sounds like a fantastic meal for a mom. Thank you both for coming on. Thank you so much for those trade tips. Now I think some moms out there are going to be impressed for their Mother's Day. All right, everyone, stick around, because coming up right after the break, we're going to be joined by our friends from Daily Blast Live to hear about what they have coming up this week. And if you're a fan of the 80s, oh my goodness, you're definitely going to want to tune in. We'll be right back.